Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I'll be your friendly crafty master today, because today we're carrying on. Actually, no, we're returning to a game where we only got to the table for the first time recently, but we enjoyed it so much we could not wait to get it back, and that is Crafty Games' Fantasy Craft, a game that is an iteration of their Spycraft 2.0 system, which itself owes its bones to the D&D 3.5 or the OGL games. And we're returning to the setting of Guns in the Dwarflands, my custom setting of kind of post-war, I don't know, what would I call it yet? Post-war fantasy, I guess, grit fantasy, I don't know. But with me today to explore the regions of the Dwarflands are some stellar players venturing into Fantasy Craft and the Dwarflands for the first time. I want to go over the order. I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing today? First up, we've got Carl.
Hello, I'm Carl, and I'm playing Hakon Doomwinter. He is
Oh, I lost it, Carl. Did you guys lose Carl as well?
Yeah.
Yep.
The Wi-Fi in the Dwarflands is sometimes a little tricky, so.
Kevin, you killed him already? We didn't even get started.
Wow.
All my action points are gone. So we'll let Carl get back on. Maybe what we'll do is we'll have David. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing?
Hi everyone, I'm David. I'm playing Fire Rider Farwalker, a self-taught wizard from the north who is on a quest for adventure and knowledge.
Now, I do have one question for you, David. Are you okay playing a character who is not a physician?
But we'll see how we get on. That's early days. I believe I do have one healing spell, so, it's sort of...
There you go. Nice. Next up is James.
Hi, I'm James. I'm playing Zarazia Monte, a ex-musketeer who, from far away, who has gone into exile as a result of a disappointing love affair.
Oh, nice. Next up is George.
Hey, everybody, I'm George. I am playing Artak Il-Hayar, who is he's a young, tough, half-elf bastard. And he is... one of the things I like about this game is that he's a ranger, but he's a scout in particular. This is his class. So he is sort of a, outsider, kind of working his way through this kind of destroyed world in the aftermath of war and trying to find his way.
Nice. And Carl, I think we got you back now.
Yep. Oh, did you not hear what I?
We didn't. You're
2-page backstory. No. So I'm playing Hakon Doomwinter, a warrior with a lot of muscles, a big sword, and a hefty fist.
Nice. I think Hakon is sort of becoming our unofficial, everyone gets to play him once character, because George has played Hakon and Dave has played Hakon. So. Awesome. All right. So then, guys, I'm just going to hit reconnect because I don't have Carl's camera right now.
Yeah, I don't either.
See if I can get him
there
back.
It goes. Oh, I had it for a second. There it is.
Okay, yep. I've got...
I should have a refresh.
Yeah, I got everybody. All right. So, guys, for those listening at home, apologies for our late start. We were talking about the game and then talking about the setting. So this is the setting is the Dwarflands. Really, all you need to know for this is... Perhaps we'll start with kind of a, because I was listening, I've had variations of Ennio Morricone's The Glory of Gold. I think that's what the track is called, playing almost nonstop all week. So if you can picture a Good, Bad, and the Ugly style, opening, what we would see is our quartet of heroes making their way up into the foothills in the Dwarflands. What you guys are going for is, I'm assuming, for one, that you guys all know one another, and I'm interested to hear how you guys have come together. I'm assuming that you guys are traveling to Ecstasy of Gold. Thank you very much. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I came so close to buying fucking theremin this week. I do not need a theremin. I am not musically inclined, but I saw someone playing it. I'm like, that is really fucking cool. And how hard could it be to play an instrument that barely anyone plays because of the challenge of playing it? Like, good Lord. So what I'm assuming is that there is some kind of task that, like, there is, you have heard there is an orc warlord who is somewhere in the mountains who is looking to hire someone out. One of the upsides to the outcome of the 20 years of war in the Dwarflands is that many of the orc tribes quite happily threw in with the elvish forces and their allies to uproot the dwarves because they got a shit ton of gold from that. And one of the things that has happened is some of those warlords, obviously some of the warlords just used it to, you know, improve their own lives and whatnot, but some have taken it upon themselves to hire some mercenaries left over to try and recover, you know, cultural artifacts or other things that were lost over the years, or just deal with other troubles and other problems, because there is no overall government and overall control. The might, you know, rule here. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Like, this is my great. Did I mention, guys, that I have on my CV expert theremin player? If so. That is where you guys are heading. Where you will be spending the evening, though, it is not wise to be traveling in the Dwarflands, particularly in the mountainous regions, at night, for one, because you can accidentally step off the road and then plunge, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of kilometers down. There's also really terrible things. The mountains of this region have always had dangerous creatures in there. Then you add to it the creative, you know, beast keepers among the elves and some of the other allied nations, as well as summoning rituals and things like that, to say nothing of what the orcs or the dwarves summoned. There's all sorts of terrible things still lurking in these hills. So as such, you guys have come to the Thirsty Wyvern to spend your night. It is like many of these kind of roadside, or it wouldn't be a coaching, you would probably call it a coaching inn if there were coaches more commonly used in the mountains. I think a roadside inn or a road tavern may be a better way to understand it. But it does have a palisade around it. They keep the doors open, it seems, so people can come and go as they need. There is a place to stable horses, but of course, none of you guys can afford horses or camels or riding rams or any of the other things that you would be able to, conveyances that you would typically go around. So, but hopefully you've got enough silver to be able to buy some drinks, because it has been a very parched trip. As you guys make your way into the tavern, you can see that there is a mostly, it appears to be mostly travelers who make up this place. So it's not the kind of tavern where you would see the regular, you know, the locals lurking at one particular spot on the bar or filling a booth at one side. This is all folks from other places who are in here. And just at a glance, you guys can tell that some of these are obviously mercenaries who are accompanying caravans going up into the mountains. There does seem to be a small mix of halflings, actually. Half of which, or perhaps more, are armed, quite obviously, with leather armor and some crossbows, and even like one or two blunderbusses among them. But the person who first comes up to you is a striking half-orc woman. She appears to be likely of orcish and human ancestry, and she comes in for you. Well, get a seat. Just drinks, or drinks and food too?
Food, always food.
Oh, good. Hope you brought your purse as well as your appetite. Sit where you like. And what do you guys do?
Do we have quite
of course, yeah. Well, that's a good question to start with.
You guys have about 15 silver pieces each. And
should be enough.
Yeah. I would say Harkon always pays. We just eat the little nibbles inside.
He needs to eat. Growing boy.
Absolutely, got to keep that body
Physique,
weight up.
Yep. Right.
So, a typical meal that is. Oh, right. Forgot there's. So there, you have your normal, meal, but then you also have comfort food, which will give you +1 to your will saves for 8 hours. Filling food, +1 to your fort saves for 8 hours. Fresh food, which negates a sickened condition, or a hearty meal, which decreases fatigue by 1 grade.
Hearty meal sounds good, but
Hearty meal is 10 silver.
hearty meal. It is.
All right. So that'll bring you back from if you did suffer from any fatigue, you guys are able to sit down for a very full, meal, a stew of some kind, I imagine, with some kind of probably lamb in it. The crowd the tavern itself seems to be about 1/2 full, and it seems travelers who are all kind of keeping to themselves. When you, Elizabeth comes back, she brings you your whatever drinks you've ordered, and says, "And where are you lot coming from? Where are you going?" She kind of eyes you all. "Something tells me you're not from around here."
I'm always the quiet one in this particular, we're playing this character, just so everyone knows. And so I'm constantly scanning Kevin to where are the exits?
So
who's looking at us?
That's actually a good point. I have a question for you. So in the illustration, it looks like he's draped his thing over the points in his ears.
Yes, I liked that touch. So I definitely am trying to pass as human just to avoid any issues with anybody.
Okay.
I'm always trying to slip under the radar of everybody. So, I think I'm, I am a kid in a way. So I think I'm like always chewing on like a licorice root or something.
Okay. Kind
of like a man with no name, but a licorice root. Okay. And I'm kind of leaning back and like looking around, and I'm always ready to go if necessary.
Okay. So she seems to be kind of looking over you as if she's trying to sort something out. But where are you headed?
We're from all over. We're headed to, and you might be able to point us in the right direction. We're looking for work. Who isn't these days, right? There's some orcish warlord in these parts. I've heard is hiring. Anything you might have heard about that? Any advice, tips? How far away are we?
So you're mercenaries.
Gotta make a living somehow.
Right.
No, that's
such a harsh word.
Well, and she looks at you, Razor. What word would you use?
Purveyors of professional expertise. I think something like that.
I see. You must be educated. That's a lot of words. There is. Gored. He is... his land is about 2 days' travel further up to the northeast. You will be traveling. Andra is about a half-day's travel from here. If you get there, there's plenty of folk who can point you in the direction if he doesn't have any contacts there. You don't know the folks who came by earlier, did you? We had some other, how did you put it, ma'am? People of
professional expertise.
Yes. They came by yesterday and made their way through.
No.
They didn't say they were looking for work with him, but they had that look. Like your look.
The hungry look.
Well, if it's hungry, don't you worry. This stew will make you feel like you've taken a stroll through a meadow. At least I imagine.
You might be able to answer a question I've had in the back of my mind as we've been traveling we've been told that Gorad is a warlord, and what kind of trouble might a warlord have that his own soldiers and hirelings and minions and whatever titles they pick aren't helping him, and he needs to cast his net for help wider and try attract the likes of us?
Yeah. Why don't you give us, I think, why don't you give us an impress check, please? Nice. So, there are set difficulty numbers for various things with your knowledge, but there's also great rules for like sliding scale to be appropriate to level. So you guys can judge what an average difficulty for you guys will be 13. That is something where you have training and it requires a roll to determine success. Easy is 10, tricky is 16. So, fortunately, Elisabetta is quite friendly, and
Nice.
so rules as written, you would be improving her disposition towards you, which would allow you to potentially buy her as a contact if we continued on with a campaign using reputation, or perhaps just someone you continue buttering up, and you can't necessarily call in favors from, but you can reliably get an easy check for impress with. So she says, "Oh, it's got to be he's intent on restoring his people. His people are miners from very far back, and they learned to work metal in particularly unique ways. And the dwarves didn't like that. And one of something crafted by one of their ancestors. He says it was taken by the local dwarves. He wants to pay someone to recover it now that that hold has been emptied out. They think it wasn't taken by the elves or their allies, and that it's still there. So, I think he's a fool. I think if anyone did stumble across the hammer, then they would have taken it and not advertised, but he's convinced his people it's still there. Although I think there's a wizard who advises him. He may have some influence over that.
You wouldn't happen to know the name of this wizard?
I don't, but and you can see she's kind of she's a little uncomfortable with. There's something she's not wanting to say about the wizard, and her eyes go to Artak for a moment, and then kind of go back. Anyway, I don't. He's a different one in any event. So, just staying the night then.
Indeed.
Well, I'll get your meals, and I'll come back. So, and she goes off in a bit of not a huff, but you can tell she's. Being of mixed race here is not anything new. The orcs and prior to the drying times, orcs and dwarves and goblins and whatnot, it was not unusual to have folks who they traded with one another. People got to know one another, and as is often the case, sometimes that led to romantic entanglements, and there are mixed race children who would be born from that. That's kind of changed now that when the drying times came and more animosity came between the different species, and then also the impact of war. So there's also Artak. Half-elves or those who were elf-blooded, were much less common prior to the conflict. So there's a lot of young half-elves who are uprooted and not really welcome back in the home country, as it were. So,
right. Okay.
What talk about your characters here. What would you guys be doing as a part of your evening ritual? What would you be settling in for? Is there some specific thing you like doing? Something you look out for? Anyone a gambler? Anyone, try to chat with other folks? Or do you just sit and drink and stare at your food?
Well, Haikon's gonna dive into his food for sure, and he, of course, when Elizabeth gives us information, he nods in between mouthfuls.
You know what? I think doesn't your berserk cause a fatigue condition afterwards?
Maybe. I don't think he is a berserker.
Yeah.
I don't think he rages. You
do, yeah. Your rage basics. That's one of your feats. You can enter the berserk stance. Your strength and con raised by 3 each. You may not make skill checks while in this stance, and when you leave it, you become fatigued. I'll say, because you spent the money on this, you've banked a recovery.
Okay.
So the first time you become fatigued, Hakon, you'll be able to recover from that. You do only have 5 silver left, but...
Yeah.
What about the rest of you guys?
I quickly chow down, and I think I'm definitely making sure, because I want to get done quickly, because I want to sort of get out of public eye.
Yeah.
So I don't want to leave. I don't want to take my food back to the room or anything. I want to stay around my companions. I feel like safety in numbers.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to blend in, to the background, while I just kind of hunch over my stew and eat this with my eyes down, and every once in a while I look around, eat some more.
Okay. What about Ferreira and Zarazia?
Rada will be getting some of her scrolls and parchments out. She has a keen interest in famous wizards, so she'll try to cross-reference of anyone she's heard of who might be in this area, and
Good
anything
point. Yeah. So let's see here. Ferreira. Oh, you do have famous wizards. Okay, so why don't you give us a knowledge check, and you'll get a +1 from your study for famous wizards. Do you think you have any skill that would give you a synergy bonus?
I guess either investigate or spellcasting for wizard-related stuff.
Yep, make it +2. So give us a knowledge check with +2 on top of whatever else is in there. Knowledge check is on the left under the stats, I believe. Holy shit. Yeah, okay. So the reason she may have been you could tell that Elizabeth is half orc, probably a half human, half orc. She likely is wanting to say that this other person is a half orc as well. But yeah, which is, she may not want to. There's probably Artek could tell you there's enough folks here who will tell you since the war began that there's plenty of reason to suspect someone who is of mixed blood, and she probably doesn't want to perpetuate this is why you can't trust this person. What you've heard is this is an unusual one too. It is an older half dwarf. So it is someone who is orcish with dwarf blood. Particularly with the way that the dwarves, the association with their types of magic is very sinister at this point. And ancient. The idea that someone has managed to find their place in a position of influence over an orcish tribe afterwards speaks to, for one, kind of the practicalities of this. If you manage to survive 20 years of war, you're a tough individual who's probably going to find some way to survive. And secondly, they probably are greatly valued if they're openly seen in that position. I suspect with that good of a role, Ferreira, this is something you sort of knew. This has just confirmed the... let's give him a name as well. Where is... There we go. And what about you, Zarazia? What would you do with your evening?
I am a shadow in the corner.
Okay. All right, so this wizard's name is... Valen Fargek. And I know we all played varsity volleyball with a Valen Fargek, but let me just...
I was going to say.
Yeah. Just in case the name on the jersey is a little different. So there you go, Valen Fargek. And does that reassure you, Fareda, or does that concern you that this is the person behind this?
I think it will concern is maybe too strong a word, but it'll be of interest because she's going to assume, and this might be some of that bias against dwarves filtering into her thinking, that as a wizard of dwarven lineage, he won't be interested in some hammer. He might have that as a, hey, I'll get you your hammer if you get me access to. But she knows that dwarves have had all sorts of necromancy and demonology. She's suspicious that he's after some ancient lore or hidden grimoires, and the hammer is just a convenient way of getting the orc warlord to help him out with that.
Okay.
Which might be overly suspicious of her, but it's sort of thing she might do or consider if she wants to gain access to hidden knowledge. So,
understood. Yeah, that makes sense. So then, Hackett, it sounds like, is going to be enjoying the evening around. Artak is trying to finish up as really. By the time the sun goes down, and it gets dusk here much earlier than it gets dark. The mountains are very high, and they cast shadows as soon as the sun gets fairly low in the sky. So it is probably early dusk when you guys have finished your meal, but it's probably too early to reasonably go to sleep at least. Artak, have you headed upstairs to your room, or are you just waiting until everybody goes?
I think I'm anxious to go to my room, but I would wait until the rest departed for mutual safety.
Okay. Artak, why don't you give us a survival check, please?
Ready.
Let's see about the weather here. Let me see.
I'm finding there. It's the background. That's the problem.
The background's tricky. Yeah. Survival.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. That's a great roll. And then on top of that, remember you've got that stalker, I think, ability.
Well, and I also have. I don't know if this would apply, but I have, depending on what's happening, I have the Dwarflands as one of my studies.
Yeah, so you could add +1 to this as well. What you know is, so the as much as the the sort of fanciful way of describing the mountains is they scrape the clouds, you get lost in the clouds. There's not a lot of precipitation in the Dwarflands, so there is a fairly open sky in most cases. But you've noticed as you've been coming up towards this place, the Tipsy Wyvern, that the skies in the direction that you'll be traveling have been noticeably overcast. It's very unusual. And what's also unusual is that there is sort of a feel you can get, folks who have like busted bones or things like that have not sat properly, you'll have a feeling of like, oh, I can feel it in my bones that bad weather is coming. Mm-hmm. That's not the feeling. So whatever is coming, whatever's causing this overcast condition, it is definitely not the sort of barometric change you would expect from a storm front.
Okay. I think because Arazia is sort of, kind of hiding as well, I think like I kind of lean back into the shadows and kind of whisper, see those clouds on the way in? I don't like it. something unnatural about it.
Are you talking to us?
To Zarazia.
Are the rest of us there? Or not there?
Concerning.
I've just leaned back because she's in the shadows.
But do all of us hear this, or is it just
We get ourselves into trouble, I think.
You probably hear as we converse. I would guess that like now suddenly it's noticeable. But keep our wits about us.
Do we need to stay here? It doesn't sound like traveling in this is safe.
Got the strange feeling it's not going anywhere.
A cursed land.
Maybe.
So unless there's anything else you guys wish to do before we turn to sort of the early evening, David or Ferreira?
Yeah, I think obviously it's very arid land and water might be scarce, but I've realized Ferreira can create water.
Nice.
So she would probably walk over to Lisabetta and offer that, maybe in exchange for a reduction in cost of the stay. I can replenish some of their water supplies with clean, fresh water.
For sure. So let's do this. One of the interesting things about it is that because the cantrips do not require they don't require any magic points, then you can really cast them as many times as you want. However, it does require a DC 13 spellcasting roll. And I can trigger errors. If you suffer an error in it, then you suffer I can't remember what the penalty is. It's something kind of onerous where like until you kind of get your groove back, you suffer a penalty until you cast a successful spellcasting roll. So let's just do it this way. Give us, let's say, 5 spellcasting checks.
Kevin, why do you hate this game?
all we need is a storm at sea.
Yeah, really. Nat 20. Oh, so
nice.
You know what I would... Hold on. In fairness... Now, hold on.
Oh,
I will let you, because I was going to give you an option, you could spend an action point on that nat 20 to trigger a crit and basically make it so that you filled up enough. You do not need to complete the other. So you now are also faced with the potential of an error, because I could spend that point. But do you want to spend an action point and tell us what thing you do in order to achieve all the rest, all the water you needed with that one casting?
Yeah, I'll happy spend the action point.
Okay. So what do you think happened? I guess first off, what does it look like when you are working your magics to fill up this the rain barrels for these folks?
I think with this she'll bring out a grimoire, which is sort of this, thick parchment pages, not bound in leather. It's probably it almost looks like bone.
Ooh.
Or something from her or like sort of bleached wood. It's hard to tell maybe at a distance. I think Artak would know it's sort of bleached wood from her northern homeland that sort of holds the pages together. She'll sort of flip through, and then she's sort of with the book in one hand would sort of do the gestures. I think on the critical, she'll just becomes very focused and possibly draws up her, because she can also do polar ray, so it just makes it colder in the room so that there's more moisture as the cold condenses in the heat.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
To speed up the process, combining the two magics to make it go faster.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, so you easily fill up their fresh water supplies. Your Hacken, you'll get your 10 silver back. Your food and your food will be on and your lodgings will be on the house. Elizabeth is very, very impressed with your workings.
Awesome.
She probably asked you some the kind of fangirlish questions that you like where did you how did you learn that? What did you do? She seems very keen on your particular professions. As Zarazia, how did you put it again?
Purveyors of professional expertise. That was it.
Yes, there we go. Seems very particularly interested in that, and because of your role from before, I think if you chit-chat with her a little bit as well, it doesn't take much to get out of her that her father was apparently a purveyor of professional expertise who had passed by this village. Yeah. He did not stay and likely is unaware of her existence, but did pass through at some point. Zorazia and Artak, why don't you guys give us a notice check each, please?
Alrighty. I'm trying to read it. There it is.
You can double click on the thing; it'll highlight it in like blue, and then it's much easier to read.
Right, yeah.
Nice. 22.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. And 10 for Artak. So, Zorazia, you're perhaps, are you doing, like, apart from just lurking, are you paying attention to anything in the
Oh, I'm always scanning a room.
Okay. So you're keeping an eye on it, on what is going on here. It does sound like there are a couple of folks who sound like they're like trappers or something like that who are passing through. It does sound like there's the majority of what is in here is part of a halfling caravan that is making its way deeper into the orc territory. They're likely, they're talking about what the next day's trip is going to be and the next day's travel. They also seem as if they are bound for Andra, the next village. That'll be a little further along the way in the kind of the next valley over. It sounds like the Andras are going to be a much more expansive kind of place and a little bit more of a than what this location is, and also a little more of a crossroads type place where other folks will come and meet. So you've got some knowledge of that. But what catches your ear is the sound of a horse's, it's not a whinny, it's more of a scream. And I think you can't help but look outside, and what you can see is through the palisade doors, which are still open, there is someone atop a horse who is just riding this thing to the point where it's foaming at the mouth. And the way they're slumped over, with a notice check that good, they are either very untrained or they are very injured, because they're barely holding on. And you only realize this sort of as the horse reaches the sort of the entrance to this, and the horse seems to have been, there's obviously a connection between the two, because as soon as the horse reaches there, the last bit of will it had seems to have collapsed, because the horse hits the ground and its rider is sent sprawling and, kind of tumbling along. This is the condition this rider is in. And Artak, you would also, even at this, hear this. There's a kind of a tumult in the courtyard right now. And Zorazia, that's not necessarily with the way this person, who looks like, if he is not dead, he is going to be very shortly. But what catches your eye, Artak, is the wall of fog that is somehow making its way up the road, and you can hear screeches and cries of something from within it.
Okay.
Guys, let's learn how to roll initiative in this game.
Okay.
Woo! Nice.
Everyone gets an action point as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Okay,
your
cool.
action point is your green bar on your...
The green bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've capped it out at 6. If you do get end up stocking up more than 6, then let me know. And let's bring you on over. Oh, before you do that, hold on, guys. Before you roll, let me bring you to a different screen here. And we'll put some new things down. Boom. There we are, guys. Go ahead, and I don't know if it's going to require you to click on your token, but go ahead and Nice.
I clicked on mine just in case.
Okay.
Oh, initiative. There we go. Oh,
Where's my oversized D20? I need that to start counting down something.
it's good being able to roll it twice.
Nice. Did you get your Yeah, and if you whichever one you've picked there, James, go ahead and just fill. If you need to change it, make that change.
Cheers.
I cannot find my.
That one worked.
Okay.
Second time lucky.
Second time lucky. Awesome. Okay. So, I'll start with here. All right. So, guys, let me put everyone in the order here. And let's see. Before we start tracking through our turns here, Artak, you can tell that the way that the mist is coming, it is going to or the fog, the way that's approaching the open. Well, let me do this here. Maybe I'll move your characters. I'll make your tokens a little smaller so we can kind of track where everyone's going, and then I'll shorten your names, maybe, so it's easier to move them around. There we go. So we'll just put Hacken. Oop. There we go. Come on. Nope, come on, you fucking thing. There we go. And Fareda. And Zarazia. And you guys can assume you're all... well, you can position yourself in the main house, sort of where you think you would be once I've renamed you. And Artak. What I was going to say is, Artak, it is going to be 3 rounds before the mist kind of hits the thing. The injured rider, let me place him down here, is right about there, from where he's been cast off his horse. So Artak and Zarazia, again, I'm assuming you guys have a view of what we've seen. If you position yourself in the fucking corner.
I've placed myself in the kitchen because I'm refilling the water.
Yeah. You're like, fuck it, we're not sticking around for this. And actually, now that the names are smaller, maybe
Looks dangerous. Run.
Okay. So what you can tell is that... Oh, and Hacken, you're probably at one of the tables here.
Yeah.
So eating. Fareda, you're in the kitchen. Let me make you a little smaller. There you go.
Could be it.
All right. So then, Zarazia and Artak, you can feel free to call out anything before we drop into our initiative order here.
I don't know how to make myself smaller. I can't make myself.
So, Farida,
Yeah, maybe this.
are you still a doctor?
Okay. So hold on. Let's just put yourself in the scene.
Yeah.
You see this thing is coming. It is like 30 seconds away from this mist and screaming things within it reaching the walls. You have one opportunity to call something out before we drop into initiative order. Zarazia and Artak, what do you guys call out?
I'm going to yell out, "Unnatural deadly mist coming our way."
Okay. You can see that there are 2 individuals who seem to be working for the thing here, and they seem to be looking out, and they're kind of dithering over whether to close the gates or not.
So, close the gates.
Okay.
And I'll run forward.
Well, hold on. We're gonna. Well. Let's wait until we actually take our turns, guys. So, you've done your calls out. First up, Zarazia. You have 1 round of actions. What would you like to do?
I'll run forward to the injured.
Let's try and talk in game mechanics. Are you taking a half action to move your speed of, I think it's 30?
Yep.
Okay, so you could reach him in 1 if you'd like, and then you have another half action.
I'll try and grab him to pull him.
So why don't you give us, this will not be an action, but give us a medicine check, please.
Oops. It's okay. Here we go.
Do you want to spend any action points to augment that? An easy test is a 10.
Okay, I'll use 1 for that then. So
Okay,
that would
so
be
roll 1d4 exclamation mark, because they can explode.
what's it? All right, that's an int, so that's not me. I can roll double up if I'm using Dex.
Oh, nice. And that's 10. Nice. You just know at a glance, this guy is going to need immediate medical attention to avoid dying. You will require 3 successful medicine checks administering care to him before you can move him. If you move him, he's dead. What you can also tell Zorasia, he has some kind of unit insignia on him. He looks like be part of some kind of military unit, although the state that it's in, he's been discharged from the military. A veteran.
Okay, I'll register that.
You have 1 more half action.
Oh, can I do a first medicine check on him then?
Absolutely, yep. The difficulty of this is going to be 16, 1-6.
Well, that's not going too well.
Do you want to spend an action point on it?
No, because I can't get to 16. Well,
Yeah, you can. It can explode.
1 in 4
25%
chance, yeah.
chance.
Well, okay, I'll try 1.
Okay. So remember, 1d4 exclamation mark. All right, so like this guy is so fucked up, and I think because of your level of training, you're just not even sure like what has hurt this guy. He's just bleeding everywhere. Freda, what are you doing?
I assume I heard a commotion, so
Yeah.
I will come out of the kitchen with a half action for move.
Okay, so you could probably cross halfway across the main house, and I think through
do
the
I
big
see?
through the
Do I
windows.
see the injured guy?
Yes, I think through the windows you can see that there is the gates open, the mist is coming, and you can see Zorasia is crouched down over somebody who looks. I mean, it honestly looks like she's bent over a bloodied corpse. 1 more half action.
I will use my other half action to move up to the.
Okay, so you come running up beside as well. Artak.
I will. My first half action is to be to emerge from the main house and look to see if there's like anything over those, steps or anything I can sort of climb up a bit just to get a better vantage point to see the oncoming.
Yeah, there's. I think that there's a veranda over the entrance here, probably.
Okay, I'd like to try to climb up that.
Yeah, give us an
I feel
athletics
like this is the kind of thing that my guy does all the time because he's got cat fall, so he must fall off a lot of things.
Yes.
So what kind of check should I make for that?
Athletics, please.
Athletics, okay. Let me highlight everything. There it is. Alrighty. I would like to spend an action
It's an
point.
easy check. I think you're good to go, unless you want to do it with.
okay.
So yeah, that's totally fine. So
No,
you
I just wanted to avoid falling.
Yeah. So you got yourself up. All right. So then, Hacken, what are you doing?
Well, seeing that there's all this commotion, he's going to use a half move to make his way outside.
Okay. So half action will get you to about where Artak is. 1 more half action.
And then he'll draw his sword.
Okay. So you get your claymore out.
Second.
Yeah. So go ahead and position yourself in the yard. Top of the round. This is round 2. The mist has grown closer. The 2 seem to be kind of trying to drag the gates closed. It ain't going to get closed in time with the way they're doing it. Zorasia, what would you like to do?
I'll shout I'll run forward. I guess will that get me to the gate with 1 half move?
I think. Hold on. Let's see here. Because there is a run action. I can't remember what your speed is, Zorasia. If you're faster than the others, one of you guys, Hacken, I think, is faster, but I can't remember if you are as well.
Yeah, run. Move 4 times speed in straight line.
And is that a full round? A full action?
It is a full. Yes, full. And you become flat-footed.
Oh, okay. What do you think of doing, Race? Do you want to run over there and try and help with the...
Shut the door, yeah.
Yeah. So let's do that. So then you'll be able to do that. You can just position yourself near the door.
And I'll shout when I go. Try and help him as I go.
Okay. So go ahead and you can position yourself by the gates there. And then Ferreira.
Seeing what the state this chap is in, she's possibly thinking, not sure there's much she can do, but she will try. So she'll flick through her grimoire, and then her hand starts glowing with light, and she will try and cast Touch of Light,
Ooh.
which heals 1 standard character of 1 damage or 1 special character of 1 vitality.
Oh, okay. So I think you know that this guy, that will not assess. Like right now, what you need to do is you need to. He's too far gone. You will need to be administering medicine, like first aid, in order to stabilize this guy before.
In that case, she will happily try that.
Okay, so go ahead and give us a medicine check.
Medicine, how dare you are.
Nice. Do you want to trigger the crit?
Yes, please.
Okay, so you spend your action point. Oh, I forgot, guys. I got action points too. What the heck? There we go.
All right.
All right, so then that'll be 2 of the 3 you need. You want to spend your other half action to continue stabilizing this guy?
Absolutely.
Go right ahead.
She's like frantically, trying to find his wounds, the worst ones, and
Yeah.
too much blood on the outside.
19. Excellent. 16 is what you needed.
Nice.
He is stabilized. And
Nice.
you can give us a knowledge check as well, Ferreira, now that you're so up close and with him. I
Oh, there you go.
do not think any of your studies would apply here. That's potentially an error. I am gonna spend action point to trigger an error here. Would you roll 1d6 for us, please? Ferreira, you recognize that this man is a member of a very specific unit that you have some connection with, but knowing that you have just saved the life of this individual has caused you 5 stress damage. So stress damage is tracked on your character sheet above. It's below where the knowledge rules are. And because you have suffered stress damage, I need you to give us a will save, please, against, you took 5. It'll be a DC 12 will save.
Okay.
Nice. All right, so then you keep the stress damage until, but you are not shaken. So how do we see a reaction from Ferreira from this?
Yeah, I think there'll be some swearing. She'll probably, obviously, in the attempt of stabilizing him, she'll wipe away some of the blood and see the insignia. And that'll be sort of like, oh, fuck, of course, typical.
Yeah. This guy is, their unit, incidentally, is a military scout of some kind, probably a mounted archer. There's a saddle that is a comfortable saddle. He wears leather armor. There's a light crossbow at his side, and there's a goat's foot loading arm. This is a guy who's kitted out for hit-and-run attacks, not extended engagements. Artak, you're up next. What are you doing?
So my first half action, I want to try to just sort of assess this, oncoming wall of mist. So basically with a notice check to see if I can, if that makes sense, to see if I can figure out, like, if we close these doors, is that going to keep it out? Like, or is it just going to wash over this whole place?
Yeah. So what you can tell is that it does seem to be oddly sitting against the ground. It's about 20 feet up, and maybe the walls will be long enough to contain it. But if you're looking at that, you need not make a stealth check or a notice check for us in order to see something poke itself free from the mist and then be overtaken by it. Because what you hear screaming in there, dozens of these things. One barely kind of outpaces the mist and then is completely concealed by it. The way the size of these things, they look about the size of a dwarf, 4.5 feet tall.
Okay. And it seemed to be above the ground, like as if it were.
They're racing along the ground.
Right on the.
They're in the mist. Something is there as they're running along. It's almost as if it is delivering it to you. And from the sounds of it, there are tons of these things out there. Would you give us a 1d6 roll too?
Sure. 1d6. 3. 3
stress damage for Artak. Give us a will save against DC 11, please.
Okay, we get to say
that was a half action. You have one more half action.
It's going to be there's will. Here we go. Will save 14. Okay, great. So I'm kind of taken aback by the sight of this. I think it's nothing I've probably ever encountered before or anything even like it. So it's definitely unsettling. But I'd like to yell down.
I think
to
one of your favored enemies, because your ranger speciality gives you favored foes.
And undead, yeah.
Notice, sense motive, and survival checks. You increase your threat range by 1 when you're fighting them or trying to know anything about them. So,
do I? Yeah. So I'd like to do 2 things. One is just yelling. Is that my other half action?
Sure.
Or
no, you can take an action. Yelling is free.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna.
I should have that as a guarantee on every campaign. Yelling is free.
It's just like a little asterisk. So I yell down so that everyone can hear me. Get those doors closed. And then I would like to try to. I would like to try to determine what this objective is. It seems like it's coming, at this little settlement purposely, but it could just be it's just going in this direction. I'm not sure if it's angling towards us or whatever.
You saw someone ride a horse to death when they were on the edge of death, suffering a shit ton of wounds all over them, and then it seems that this thing was in pursuit of them. But what you can do is give us a knowledge check, please.
Alrighty.
Or no, give us a notice check.
Notice, okay.
Yeah, another notice. This one, threat range will be 19. So if you roll a 19, you could potentially get a crit as well.
Sweet. Okay. Notice. Here we go.
Yeah.
Close.
So you can see there are claw marks all over. You look down at this guy, and even from where you are, this guy has been torn to shit by these things. And what you also can tell is that there is the reason that so for Ada, this is just you wouldn't necessarily know this, but the reason that your spell likely was unable to give this guy any kind of benefit, there's disgusting seeping green ichor that is pussing up in these things. Whatever foul magic is animating those dwarf corpses, the Raveners, that seems to be infecting their wounds as well. It's a miracle he is still alive. And it's a credit to his horse that his mount bore him this far before finally dying. Artak.
It's because of my favored foe ability. Is it clear to me that these are undead?
100%.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just add that. I'll just say undead. That's part of what I'm yelling. And then I think what I want to do is, in case that door doesn't get closed, I want to string my bow and be, so on the next.
Yep, you're good to go.
Next turn, I can start firing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. Hacken, what would you like to do?
If he can, he's going to charge the door and bull rush it closed.
Nice. Go ahead. Yeah. Give us an athletics check, please.
Someone said close the door. Let's see if he does it. I'll just use unarmed. It's the same.
Yep.
18.
Nice. You want to spend an action point? Try and get that to 20?
Yeah, I'll spend an action point.
Okay. So roll
Yes.
1d4 exclamation mark, please. That's 20. There you go.
There
Okay.
you go.
So Hacken, the two of you, Zarazia and Hacken, slam into this thing, and it's with the added weight from you two in that, you can see it slowly sealing. And both of you only get a glimpse of what is charging towards you. Would you each give us a d6 roll, please? Because you have seen these creatures now.
5 for me.
So 5 stress damage for Hacken, and
Which
1
one's
stress
stress?
damage for Zarazia. Zarazia, give us a... Oh, Arta, you've already taken your stress damage.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
okay,
just
good.
Zarazia and Hacken. Oh, one time you see these things. Zarazia, give us a will save against DC 10. Hacken, give us a will save against DC 12.
Okay. Where is that stuff?
Nice.
There's. Which one's Will? The last one, I guess. Okay. 5. Ooh, that's not
20.
good.
No, you got the full. Use your first one.
Oh, okay.
20, no problem. So you guys... there's a horde of undead that is charging towards you. In which case, I should probably add something to the initiative tracker. Hey, guys?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to.
You know what, David, for you, no imposition whatsoever. All right. Fortunately, I'm using a fixed initiative for them, so it'll be 15, and they are still one more round before this stuff gets here. So, Zarazia, the door is sealed. What are you doing?
Then I'm looking around to see if there's any. So is there anything to jam the door shut further?
Yeah. There's you can assume that the other two
already
guys, they're taking care of that. The brace or whatever that's going down is there.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I can get to some high point too.
That tower is over here where they live. That's pretty tall. Artak has managed to get himself up on a veranda. And it would only really be if you guys happen to roll an error that I triggered that would cause the veranda to collapse on you.
I will have a run towards that tower and see what I can find over there.
Sure. Okay, so you got yourself over in that direction. Ferreira. This guy is actually... Oh, sorry, David, go ahead.
Yeah, I think she will try and get him into the main house and away. If he can be moved now that he's stable.
Now that he sees you, he looks up at your eyes, and in kind of a panic, he sort of grabs your cloak, and he says, "Help them! They're at the sanctum in Adra. You have to help them before they're found." And then he goes limp, and his breathing shallows out. He is alive. You've stabilized him. He's able to be moved now, but he is likely, again, his will carried them through to be able to say that. What would you like to do?
In that case, she will try and get him into the main house and out of the open space here.
So we'll drag him inside.
Yeah.
All right. Artak.
I would. Can I, from my vantage point now with the doors closed, can I still see the oncoming threat, or is
you can see the top of it, and it's like 10 seconds from hitting the wall.
All right. Okay, I know what I'll do with a full round action, because I don't know how powerful these things are and if that door can hold. So as a full round action, I'm going to ready to loose an arrow at any enemy that comes through that door.
Through the door,
or smashes through.
Okay.
If it somehow smashes through, or comes over it, or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Hacken.
All right. Where are they Are they coming from? Somewhere particular, or
the south? It was done. The direction of that door is where they were coming.
All right. So I guess he'll take a step back and get ready to, if they come through, attack. Is there a ready to action type of thing in this game?
Yeah, you can get back in this. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Then on their turn,
is rage like a reaction or a quick action?
enter your rage is. Let's see here. It is a stance, and entering a stance requires a half action.
All right, so he will enter his rage stance then.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so your strength and con scores are raised by 3 each. I think there's a temp modifier
button there.
Let's see here. Hacken.
Strength goes up by 3, so I just adjust. No.
Yeah, adjustment. Yeah. Put +3 to strength, +3 to con.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. All right, and that means, let's see here. Did it adjust your
it seemed to adjust my hit to hit.
Yeah, so your wound points would also be up by 3 because your wound points are based on your constitution.
Yeah, I went to 14 and 15. It did go up.
So I'm gonna.
I think.
Oh, did it? Hold up.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
No, it did. So. Okay, so let's just do the current up, so that way we can remember what your. Oh, but your vitality did.
Yeah, the vitality did, which is interesting.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll put your current vitality up, and your wounds. Your con is a 17 right now, so let's do this.
Oh no, because I took 5. Remember, from the stress.
No. Okay, so guys, look on the combat thing. There is a stress.
Okay, stress checker.
Yeah,
gotcha.
There's a thing for stress damage.
Oh, so
because what happens is like once you gain the shaken condition, you clear your stress. And you clear your subdual. Like you gain those. If you fail to save, you gain 1 level of shaken, but then you clear your stress damage.
Okay, so
sorry guys, I should have made that clear. This is
5 stress. So how do I know if I'm shaken then?
No. You're only shaken if you fail that save. Otherwise, you keep the stress, and then when you take more stress, it's another save, but it's going to be a harder save.
So I took it off that blue bar. Sorry.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah, I took it off mine as well, so I changed that.
Ooh, and actually, your VP is also higher. That it isn't tracking the correct one. So hold up, let me. Yeah.
Okay.
Here, I'll just do this.
Just to that.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Or is that what I know?
No, because your vitality, it's only your con bonus went up by 2, so your vitality would total be 17 now.
17.
Yeah. Okay. And your wounds are 17 because your con is currently 17. All right. Then the mist hits the side, and almost like a series of birds hitting windows, you can hear dozens of these things slamming up against the outside of the gate and the wall, and they're screeching and howling in fury at hitting that barrier. The mist kind of hits the side and then begins slowly kind of cascading over like a cauldron, but the full force of that fog does not pass through. It does sound like they are battering against the side, and Hacken, because you're close enough, you can hear the sound of it sounds like they are climbing the walls.
Okay.
So Razia, what are you doing?
Now, can I hear? I guess I can't hear them climbing the walls.
You can, yeah, because it's like as they're hitting, the fog is actually surrounding the entire palisade around this, and you can hear them screeching and running alongside, almost like in the direction you're going. This whole place is going to be surrounded momentarily. I didn't mean to sound so excited about that. Sorry, guys. It's very unkind of me. So what do you think, Sarezia? It seems like they may be coming in from anywhere at any point. To the south of you is the stables, and the horses are going just crazy in there.
Come to the tower, lads. Let's defend it from there.
For Rada, there is an entire building full of people, including Elizabeth. So, Zareza, you call that? That's a free action. What two half actions or 1 full action do you want to do?
I will move here to see if anything tries to come over the wall at this point. Keep the way clear to the tower.
Okay. Do you want to get any weapons out?
Oh yes, sorry.
Okay.
Swords out.
All right. Then, Ferreira. The people in here are very agitated.
I think Ferreira will... She's about to sort of start casting a spell on herself, but then realize that we're maybe moments away from a full-on panic in here. She will stand by the door and... There's dangers outside. Everyone, stay in here. If you have weapons, arm yourselves. Barricade the windows. Close up any entrances and exits. Stay together, and then we can do this.
Elizabeth kind of turns and it's like, you heard what she said, go, go! And so they're all going to follow your instructions. It's about half action to get to the door. What would you like to do then?
I think... Let's see... Oh, that's a full action. Ooh, expeditious retreat. Always good to have that one in the bag.
Yeah.
The thing with her, she'll just help. So if there's like a window to the side of the door, she'll just help with barricading, things
Got
like
it.
that. Just
got it.
Nothing else you want to do right now.
Artak, what are you doing?
Do I have line of sight to this right here?
You do,
that?
yeah. That's
Okay,
not
cool.
a monster there. That's just the initiative tracker. Hold on, let me move it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Kill it.
Yeah.
I know.
Burn it with
That's my
fire.
plan. Damn it.
I do love the
So
idea,
close.
like, if we were playing in person, you guys are just knocking my books off the table, grabbing my notes. Hold him down. If he can't read it, he can't run it.
That's right. Okay, so if I have line of sight to an enemy,
Yep.
I will loose my bow at it, so here we go. Now, the question: because it's undead and because I have favored foes, which allows me to increase my threat range when attacking.
Yep.
A favored foe. My threat range is already 19 to 20. So does that become 18 to 20?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay, that's good though.
Hi, Darwin.
All right, here we go. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Darwin. He wanted to say, he said something at the same time somebody else, so he said, Jinx, buy me a Coke.
Atta boy.
I'm trying to teach him all the important things.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
So here we go. Attack roll. Funny, I'm going to use an action die.
Nice.
Okay, let's see here.
To-
What? Oh, nice. And sorry, what were you shooting?
I thought I had line of sight to something that would look.
You do not. You're waiting, but we're not going to waste that roll. We're not going to waste that roll though, because what you've done is readied yourself for something. I'm just getting shit set up here. The initiative tracker has not triggered yet, but you're lining up your shot carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Awesome. Yeah, I will do that.
Okay, great. All right, then Artak, Hacken. You can hear these things.
They haven't come through yet, I guess.
Not over yet, no, but they're banging against the gate. The two guys who are there. So while you're a berserk, you can't use any skills, but you could scream something like for them to go for cover or something like that, or the two stable hands basically who help close the door.
Yeah, fall back. I tell them to fall back.
Yeah, so you scream something at them, and they're just like. Everyone,
and technically this time, if they haven't come over, technically this time I will use a full round action to ready an action.
Okay, you
the
got
rule
it.
States there.
Everyone gets
last
a
round. I went into
action point as well, and then it is their turn, guys. Let me tell you where things. We have a bunch of readied actions that'll be triggering here as these things are coming over. So, anything that does not have a red bar on it or a full blue bar is a standard adversary. So you'll do damage to them. We'll track the damage on the blue bar that's there, but then they make a damage save. So they may die quickly. Now, first off, we've got Artak and his critical hit.
Yes.
So that means you'll just kill him. If you're inflicting a wound on him.
Okay.
Yep, so spend your action point. If you didn't,
that's what I'm going to do.
Which one did you want to target?
I think because there's many more in the front, I'm going to attack this one right here. Target that one right there.
One of them goes down with your readied action. And that is on
Okay,
their
awesome.
turn, so you will still have an action.
Oh,
and
cool, yeah.
Zorazia, I wasn't clear. Did you get ready to attack in the sense of readying an action to attack, or are you waiting until they come down and then using melee instead of your pistol?
Oh, I guess I was going to try and smack them as they came over. So as soon as I got a chance to do something.
Yeah, so they're going to have to drop down because there's like 20-foot high palisade around here,
Okay,
right? So
shit, so I'll try and be ready to skewer them as they land.
love it. Okay, then it is top of the round. Zorazia, what are you doing? There's two of them
I
that have
guess
just...
I'll ready an action to stab them.
Got it. Okay. Ferreira?
Rada will mutter some arcane words and pass a hand over her vestments and will try and make them better at protecting her. I will
Nice.
try and cast magical vestments 1.
Okay.
Where's the...
So it's a 13. And you've got some incredible ways of... A reminder, you've got that one ability that anytime you spend an action point, you add +2 to the result.
Yeah.
Because you're savvy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Easy. What does it look like as you cast magical vestments? Or is
So
it-
she'll sort of run her hand over her cloak, and for a moment these sort of cold blue runes will appear and then sort of fade into the fabric. But as she moves, a shimmer of them remains.
Nice. You have another half action.
No, I think this is a full action
Oh, is it?
spell.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. Artak. One down.
Okay, I'm going to swing my aim toward the east and target this one here because
Okay.
Zorazia is over there alone.
Right ahead.
So here comes my attack of the longbow. Nice,
Solid.
22.
And that's a threat.
Oh, right.
Do you want to trigger it?
Sweet. So
Or do you
yes.
want to roll damage?
Oh yeah. So no, I'm gonna trigger it. I'll
Go ahead and
maybe
spend an action
decrease
point.
My, yeah.
Okay.
-1. And then I will use my other half action to do the same thing for the one next to that.
Okay. Love it.
Here we go. Ooh, that's a very low roll. So
You could spend an action
I'm
point.
not going to spend.
Nope.
Yeah, I think I will. I'm going through them pretty quickly. I like being able to trigger the threat since I have that increased threat range.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth saving them for that reason. So
Okay.
yeah. So and then another one goes wild.
Okay. Then it is Hacken's turn.
I don't know if it'll work, but I'm gonna try to use my threatening menace on these three that are coming across the
Sure.
wall.
Go ahead and give us a intimidate check, please.
Intimidate.
If anyone's
just
going to
yell,
scare
scream
the
at them.
dead. Yeah.
I don't know. It might work. It might not. He doesn't know better. All right.
Worth trying.
Oh, you're right. This is so hard to find. All right. Got it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, you rolled
Yeah,
to
so-
seek a whisper to me. It's the one next to it. It's the
Oh,
one
I
you
know,
want to
I
roll. But that's okay. But you're
yeah,
not. That's not a
it's
threat
you.
range though, because you're trained in intimidate.
He just doesn't like to show off, Kevin. He just, you know.
So a threaten is only a half action. You still have another half action if you like.
Okay. Well, I can't reach him, right? So
Not quite yet. No.
I can't try again either, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'll try again. It gets caught in my throat the first time. The second. All right. So roll regular. Okay. There you go. They wouldn't see it.
13. Okay, that's better. All right.
Nice.
And okay, so you howl up at them, and the three that are coming over to the edge there, they just and their disgusting tongues roll out at you. Then it is the Baden's turn. Zorazia, as this one leaps down, go ahead and make your attack.
Righty ho.
Oh, nice.
Now this is where I'm an idiot and didn't.
The attack is on the bottom. There's like attack, bull rush, whatever underneath the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
sorry.
column, yeah.
Disarm, coup de grace, feint.
Yeah,
bull
under the
rush.
specific weapon. So it'll be your concealed rapier. I think it's.
I'm sorry, I'm an
Yeah.
idiot. Yep.
And then on the bottom, no, it's the sheet has like two separate places for like. There's the column of the different attacks, and then there is the ones that are linked to the specific weapon.
Yeah.
And
Attack is what you want on the bottom.
here we go. Yep.
12. That is not quite enough, but do you want to spend an action point?
I had better.
Okay.
Cool.
So 1d4 exclamation mark. Yep, that's good enough.
Pretty good.
Go ahead and roll damage. I'll make my damage save.
Damage.
I potentially succeeded. Depending on... Oh, nice shot, though. So that is against 14. So as this thing drops down, you slay it. I am going to spend... Because I got so many action points right now. Guys, let's make this...
By the way, Kevin, how many, just from the GM's point of view, how many action points did you start the game
I started with 11.
11, okay, cool.
Yeah. I'll put 2 over there,
Awesome.
and I'll put 2 more over here. Boom. Boom. And they all drop down. And they'll begin running towards the house to start battering their way in. There we go. This one's going to try and break in the door there. These drop down here. And start. One's going to go over here. One's going to bash in the door here. And these will all drop down. We'll have 2 of them get in to where they can get to Hacken. The other one's going for the stables. That's going to go for there. And... yeah, let's give Hacken another friend here. All right, so Hacken. What is your defense currently?
Where is that?
That is listed under...
Oh, there it is. 14, looks
14, like. Awesome, okay. So, let's see here.
Or is it the one on the far left? Wait. The total is 17.
The one on the far left total, yeah.
Yeah, total of 17, sorry. I was looking at flat-footed.
17 with your greatsword. So I actually only hit with 1 because they're coming in. Your greatsword is smashing them back and forth. Then damage, they managed to get through with one of their bites. And remember, you've got 1 DR, and this goes to your vitality. So that is 3 points of damage. So you would
1 point.
Subtract the 1 DR, so you'll take 2 points of damage. You're not in a dramatic scene, so this is a standard scene.
What's the difference?
Difference is that I can't spend my action points to trigger crits for my guys, and it's not harder for you.
So how much damage? How much damage is that? Sorry.
2 vitality in total.
Okay.
Okay.
And you subtracted the DR. Oh.
No, not. You're not down to 2. You take 2.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so yeah, and that includes your DR. All right, then that is all of the ghouls, the Raveners thus far. Top of the round, Zarazia, what are you doing?
I'm going to get flanked here if I don't watch out.
Okay.
So
I mean, it's not like these things have the inbuilt ability where they have the wolf pack tactics and the mastery wolf pack tactics. I mean, it would just be cruel to use things that can get a benefit from flanking.
Yeah, I mean, only a sadistic DM would do something like that.
I don't know if the system copes with it, but I would be looking to run into that tower and stab the one as I go by.
So it would be... this is not a challenging system, guys. You will be able to interpolate it. Half action to move, half action to attack.
Okay. So
I ran Mithras Classic Fantasy yesterday, so by comparison, this feels very lightweight.
Yeah.
Which I loved. I loved Classic Fantasy. That's a fucking great game. Okay. Go ahead and
try. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I'm trying to...
I think you got that wicked... what's your threat range with your rapier? Is it 18?
19 to...
19, 20, okay. So go ahead, attack with your... so that's going to be a miss, but not by much. You want to action point that?
I guess I'd better, but I'm running out of action points.
Okay. Well, let me see. You know what, James? Let's make it more interesting. Everybody gets an action point. And I get 4.
It makes me want to DM this.
It's really fun.
Yeah, it makes me want to also Spycraft. I mean,
Spycraft looks. I'm really looking forward to get that one to the table too. So, Zarazia, do you 13? 13 is enough. Go ahead and roll damage. I'll make the damage save. You know what? I failed. Anyway, there's no way I could have succeeded. What does it look like as you take this one down?
All right, 1 through the eye.
And down. Then Ferreira.
All right, I might end up regretting this, but we're using half action to sort of step out here.
Okay.
Because these two are beautifully lined up for a 15-foot line.
They are.
And she would sort of reach out and bring some of the cold from her homeland forth and cast Polar Ray.
Beautiful. Go ahead.
At least attempt to, I should say. Let's not get too cocky.
Yeah, I think it's your spell kit for attack spells. That becomes your attack, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, there's 2 attack options here and then an effect option. It's like a save.
So it's not a save. I think I shouldn't say. I thought Polar Ray was an attack roll, not a save.
Yeah. Okay, and like I said, then I guess it says click the
No,
attack
I could be
button to
wrong,
respond. Crap.
David. I haven't looked at the spell since I made the character, so I really it would not be the
Save
first.
yes and attack yes.
I think let's take a look here. So Polar Ray is. Oh no! It's just they have to make a reflex save. So
okay.
it automatically targets the line. And what is the save? It's a 22? Yeah, because it's equal to your roll. That's one thing that's neat about the game. It's a dynamic
that's cool. I like that
thing.
Yeah.
So
Oh, okay.
I failed both. Go ahead and roll 2d6. I'll apply it to each, and I'll make the damage saves for them. I failed both of my damage saves. Don't worry about it. What does it look like? That's a neat thing with the damage saves that like it's a DC 10 plus whatever. So if I roll less with a modifier, if I roll a less than modified 10, I fail already. So it does keep it moving pretty quick. What does it look like as you take 2 of these things out with a single ray?
The air would sort of start like sort of frosting over, and then it's almost like the moisture sort of coalesces, and then a ray shoots out of her hand through both of them.
Awesome. All right, Artak.
Okay, I'm going to kind of, and the way I sort of picture him making his attacks is that he's very slow to like take aim, and then so he's gonna go after this one here because he's concerned about Zarazia.
Yep.
So here comes that one. 18.
That's another potential threat.
Another threat. Sure. I will. We just got one. I'm gonna spend it.
Okay.
Here we go.
One down.
And then I'm also concerned about the people in this building. So I'm going to then swing 180 degrees around if I can target that one there.
Yes,
I would
definitely.
like to do that. Okay, great. Okay, here we go. So this is my other half action. 14.
It's a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. I'll make my save.
And great.
Potentially need it.
And it got the damage. 5.
So it hit it. So 5 points of damage, but it's not down.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Then Hacken.
Well, the obvious is Hacken's going to go for that one there.
Go right ahead.
And then
So
he gets freed a backhanded nod. Thank you for that. He's going to attack that one there, and we'll see.
Okay.
Jeez.
Do you want to action point that?
Yeah.
You'll need to explode to get a hit, but you never know, right?
Maybe not. No.
We haven't an explosion yet. Could happen.
Come on.
Okay. All right.
So 1d4 exclamation mark. Come on.
I have a feeling if we run out of action points, we might somehow get some more because it helps the DM. That's all I'm saying.
I do.
That's right. Yeah. That's true.
There you go. Look at that. Nice. Go ahead and roll damage.
I like this game even more. All right.
Yeah.
Damage. D12.
So
6
that
points of
is.
damage.
Hold on. Is that? Let's see. 1d plus 3. Yep, that's right. All right. Whoa.
Yeah.
First one's down.
All right, and I think he's gonna. I don't know. Should I? Well, we got to help he's gonna half move to here,
Okay.
or however, to interpose between those two. I mean,
Sure.
I won't use an official taunt. But I'll go, come at me, come at me.
Nice. Love it. All right. So
But there's an official taunt action, but
Yeah.
not yet.
I think Hackens lapsed into his native northern, so no one knows what he's saying.
Maybe it sounds like these Ravagers actually.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put. I spent some things to add a couple more tokens here to keep it interesting.
Right.
And I'm also gonna spend 3 because let's get it really interesting here with adding another adversary and upgrading them to a standard character.
All right,
So-
nobody asked for any more action points. I think that's
You guys have all been so
You got
greedy.
enough action.
Stop it.
Yeah.
We're just hurting ourselves. All right, let me add the vitality in here. All right, so there's
I think it's
that.
going pretty well. I'm gonna spend some action dice to get some more of those adversaries.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, the neat thing is, like, I got to keep mental track of which ones I'm adding in here too, because you guys get XP for every group. Every group of 4 that you kill, you get XP for it.
see.
And equal to
cool.
what you get from that. Like, there is and also you get to roll for treasure from every 4 groups of them too.
Right.
So, like, there is an actual incentive to doing that. So
Yeah,
these guys are
that's cool.
all cressing up, and there's one who just has that. You know, this would be in the zombie movie where, like, the camera lingers on the guy a little too long, and he's got a scar across his face, and he kind of clearly seems to be the one who is leading the rest of the Raveners. Then let's have these ones. They'll half move over to Hacken and try and attack. Let's see here. They get. Okay. Neither of those are hit. You're battering them side to side. This one sees Artak, goes running over, and is going to try and... Oh, yeah. It's now... I'm just going to make space for you here, Artak. It is scrambled up on. It's not going to have time to make an attack, but it's, up on the veranda with you. Or the, whatever it is. This thing has smashed the door open. The horses are going just fucking crazy. This one leaps down. And then we'll run over to you, Zarazia. It does not attack this round. And you know what? Let's put 4 more back here. I gotta get this stuff going here. Okay. And you can hear, boom. Oops, I just popped David out by accident. Let's do this. Boom. 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 Okay. Put all them back here. And then these ones are spending their half action to batter away at the doors. 2 of them have smashed their way in. One is inside. One is inside. You can hear screams from inside. The other one has not managed to do so thus far. I think that's all my attacks this round. Zarazia, you're up. What are you doing?
I think Zarazia is going to pull back into this door and prepare
So
to stab
you
whatever
have to
comes
open
through
the door first.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll
It is
open the door.
locked.
It's locked.
It's locked. It's their home. They don't let anybody walk in there. You still have a half action. And you'd be equally sort of engaged with this thing if you wanted to attack or if you want to do something different.
And I guess I'll try and dance around there and stab, and then give it a stab.
Go right ahead.
Oh no, I can't do that. That's that'll be 3 half moves.
You can move right there, let's say, because you can still do a step. But go ahead, give us
Yeah, you
a.
can just do like the 5 foot.
I'm gonna get flanked bad here. Let's see.
Oh, jeez, you're constantly getting like just shy of that. You want to action point that?
No, I'll keep that for
Okay,
a future
then.
day.
Ferreira.
Hearing the screams from inside, Ferreira will step up here.
Okay. You can see one of these things.
Is this one inside? Is this one visible as well to her?
Not
or is he
yet.
still out there?
It's still banging against the barricade.
But I can see this one.
So that one is on the veranda
okay.
or whatever it is. Not a veranda. I keep calling it that. Patio? What do you call that thing?
Patio's fine.
I know what you meant. I can't think of
I
what
know
it's
what you
called.
mean.
You know what? I know it's not the
Okay.
right word, but I so rarely get to use it. It's the pergola. You're on the pergola. So-
All right, awesome. I'm on the pergola. Love it.
Ferreira will grab an amulet around her neck and sort of shake it, and the sound of buzzing gets louder and louder and angrier as she focuses inward, and then 3 magical darts
Woof.
with a loud buzzing sound will hit this one, this one.
So that one is in. Remember, it looks like it's in the storage room, right?
Oh,
Right? There's
sorry. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, like it will hit this one.
You could hit like one of the ones that's hacking, or this, or the ones on the.
The one on our attack, or the one on attacking the horses?
Yeah, okay, this one, and this one.
Got it. How much damage does it do?
1d6 per missile.
Whoa! This game's so OP. All right.
4, 3, and 6.
4, 3, and 6. Okay,
I think it's just right.
Failed, succeeded, failed. Okay, so Hack, and once again, it seems like Ferreira's looking out for you. What do your magic missiles look like, Ferreira?
I think they're flying so fast that to the most eyes you can't fully see them. But if you could, they just looked like mechanical wasps, or like really big hornet types.
Love it. Okay.
And then sting and sort of impact.
Nice. Artak.
Okay, as this thing kind of comes up over onto the pergola, I'm going to I think I step back a bit, and you see
Some general contractors just like typing a furious comment right now.
Exactly. That is not
You ignorant motherfuckers.
That's probably fair anyway.
Yeah.
But then as I kind of back up, and then I think there's like a close up of my foot, my back foot, like coming right at the edge, like almost falling off.
Yeah.
I was trying to look it up in the game. Is there a penalty for attacking something that's
I don't think so.
Okay, great. Okay, cool.
If there is, we'll look it up next time. But I don't think there is.
Yeah, I had a way to I was gonna pull out a dagger, whatever. But
yeah.
Great, I will attack it with my longbow here, as it's like getting into my face.
18 is your crit range, right? Or is it?
Correct. 18 to 20.
So close. Go ahead and roll damage. I'll roll my.
Okay.
I failed my save. What does it look like as he goes down?
So I think it comes up, and then I'm back up, and it hits it right into between the eyes, and it just falls off backward.
Yeah.
And goes down.
One more half action.
Yeah. So I swing back around. I see that there's this one that looks. Oh, can I see it actually? This one here.
Yeah, it's pulled the doors open to where the barn is.
Okay. So before it can get in there, I'm like, oh shit, and I like swing right around and kind of like at an angle.
Yeah.
Try to hit this guy. Here comes the attack roll.
Nice.
It's a threat.
Yeah. It has taken damage already, so the chances.
I know. That's why I'm worried about. I'm just gonna do the damage.
Okay. Go ahead.
2.
2. Yeah, and I rolled 19 for my damage save, so.
I think it was worth, doing it this way. So,
blown apart by one of those mechanical wasps. It's got an arrow sticking through it, and it's still like going in to do terrible things to these horses.
Undead, not surprising.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Hacken, what are you doing?
The obvious attack this one first, and we'll see go from there. 16.
Solid hit. Yep. Go ahead and roll damage. I'll make my damage save. I failed. What does it look like as you take him down?
Let's just chop this one's head off.
All right. You still have another half action.
I think I'm gonna. What do I want to do? I think he's gonna try to taunt this one away. Just get them all in one area.
Yeah. Give us a intimidate check, please.
Okay. Intimidate. Yeah.
No, 12 is all you needed. So this thing kind of looks back at you. Then it is their turn. So this one's going to charge into you, Hacken.
Okay.
Nat 20. I can't crit, though. Because they're standard characters, and we are in a standard scene. If we were in a dramatic scene, different situation. That means it is 5 points of damage, Hacken. You take 4 to your vitality.
4. Right.
These ones leap down and will go racing over to you. These ones will leap down and start racing towards the barn. This guy leaps down and is going to start running towards where Artak is. Zorazia, what is your defense?
14.
14, okay. I miss you with a first attack. And I hit you with a second one. You take 7 points of vitality.
Now,
here's what you could do. I actually, what was my second roll to hit you? I said it was like a 15 or something like that, wasn't it?
Did you tell me?
Oh, I don't know if I told you what I rolled. So I rolled a 15. What you in theory could do, spend an action point to subtract from my roll.
That sounds like a good idea.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
1d6 exclamation mark, please.
D6 or D4?
D4. What I said D6. Sorry. I always wanted
I'll
to be
roll
bigger.
D6 if you want. Don't get me wrong.
It's very big of you.
Yeah, he's very accommodating.
All right. You know, and I'm thinking, hold on, I'm just going to double check. I am not confusing this with, there we go, Mithras. Where are you? Here we go. No, so you know what? Sorry, I'm fucking it up. I'm confusing it with Mithras. What you could have done is spend it to increase your defense. So you do take the 7 points of damage, Zerasia, which would mean 6 for your
and 1
vitality.
wound.
Now, I'm just going to double check. I can't remember. One of the games that I have been reading, you actually, like, once you take your vitality, that's it. And then the next hit is to your wounds. And I can't remember if it's this one or if it is a different one.
That's Mass Effect.
Oh, Mass Effect. No, but Mass Effect took that idea from one of these games, and I don't remember if it's this one or not. Here we go. Combat. Standard damage.
Like 2 or 6.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Any remaining damage reduces your wounds. So you are fatigued right now as well, Zerasia, because you have taken a wound. All right.
It's not good.
Then these leap down and are swooping in on you. These leap down and are running to the doors. This one smashes through the door and is in here now. And that other one is going to try and break through. It does. So we have 2 of them in the main room right now. And that is it for the Raveners. Zerasia, what would you like to do?
Is there a place where I can mark?
I think there's a button. Let me take a look here. Because it is a fairly common thing. As soon as you take wounds, you become fatigued. Let's see here. Combat, here we go. Next to Subdual, there is a fatigue button, a drop down.
All right, so I take 1?
Set it to 1, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that auto-calculates, but let's take a look.
Oh, let me see. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool.
Zerasia, what would you like to do? Also, everyone gets a hero point, or action point.
Awesome. I mean, what? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Can we use it?
So as a reminder, too, one of the things you can do with your action points, you can spend it, roll the dice, and then for that number of rounds, your defense increases by 2.
That's pretty cool.
Doesn't take an action to do that. That's just you spend of your action point.
So anyone can do that?
Anybody can do that.
Okay, well, I think I'll do that.
Okay.
Nice.
So 1d4 exclamation mark. And remember to repopulate the thing. Just hit up on the up arrow.
Okay. Don't do that one. Don't roll that. No, come on. D4. Exclamation mark. Oh, that's what it is.
You throwing dice at my head? There you go! 6 rounds, Zerasia. Plus 2, you get 16 defense.
6
So,
rounds.
what would you like to do with your actions?
I'll just take that. Just note that one down.
Okay.
I think with that, then I'll stab the 2 to the north of me.
Go right ahead. And I think you're down to 2 action points as well.
Yeah, let me
Okay.
note that down. And let's see if I can actually do it any better with this stupid sword.
Come on. There you go. Hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Make my save. Failed my save. Never mind. Okay. And your second attack?
Let's try the next guy. Oh, that's no good.
I mean, you exploded on your last action point. You want to try for this one? You need 5.
At the rate these things are coming, I think I'll keep it.
Okay, you got it. You got it. Kev, can we spend an action point to take some of your monsters away? No.
Only if you roll a crit.
I know George wants more monsters, but right now...
That's okay, I'm good.
Oh, just as a reminder too, so your burglar thing applies to acrobatics and sneak. So if you want to make a ridiculous acrobatic maneuver, Zarazia, you can satisfactorily rely on getting a 21 minimum as long as you don't get an error. Because burglar applies to both stealth and that. Okay, for Rada.
Is there a way for Rada could get these 2 in a 15-foot line without freezing any of the patrons of the bar?
If you race over to like dive onto the bar and kind of zelch sideways,
Yeah.
I buy that.
So yeah, I guess that's what she will do.
Okay.
So leap from table to table.
I failed both my saves, so go ahead and roll damage. I'll make my damage saves. Actually, I maybe saved 1.
Alright.
Yeah, so that's 2 more gone. Artak.
Nice. I think we're thinking of a portico, maybe.
Portico. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
So I'm up on a portico. These kind of things drive me crazy if I don't figure them out. Okay. So I feel like Hakon and Zarazia are kind of covering the front, so I'm going to swing around and try to help Zarazia out. So I'm going to target this one first.
Unless you can see through walls.
Oh, yeah, right. So I think I'm going to take a half. Can I scramble up onto the roof? Or is it
give us
another level?
give us an athletics check.
Okay. There we go. Alrighty, where's my skills? All right. I think that's athletics. Yes, it's that one. Okay, here we go. 16?
No problem. That's a tricky thing. So you scramble up to the roof.
Cool.
So we'll
And
position
I'm
you
gonna
there.
kind of come up there and like look down and find a target and try to put an arrow through that guy just to the south of Zarazia.
Yep. Go
Getting
ahead.
back to my attack roll. Here it goes. 19.
Solid hit.
Okay, do some
Failed my damage save.
Oh, fail. Okay, great. I only wanted to one. So that's
Another
good.
one down. Then
Sweet. Okay.
Hakon.
Hacken, I will try to whittle these things down.
Okay.
I'll attack the one that's injured first.
Okay. 10 is not good enough, but you're getting close, though. You want to action point that?
Yeah, I got a lot of them, so I will.
Sure. So 1d4 exclamation mark.
Mhm.
Need 3 to get a hit.
Nope.
Ah!
Bummer.
Okay.
All right.
Then.
So I get
Second.
a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Okay.
There we go.
There you go. What is your threat range for your 19? Okay. So that is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Oh, let me make my damage save.
Oh.
I failed my damage save, so he is down. Took you 2 strokes. Then it is their turn. All right, so we have 2 that are going in to start slaughtering horses.
Yeah.
We'll do the first round of attacks on Hacken. I got a nat 20, so it's a hit, but not a crit.
Jeez.
That is something I really love about this, because you were not rolling crits on it. You can attack with a bunch of things, but you're not doing any more damage than the kind of threshold, unless you're in a dramatic scene and I'm blowing action points. 7 points of damage.
Even if you, sorry, Kev, even if you upgrade a standard to a special, still you can't do crits until
No, a special character I can. Special characters.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
This
Yeah.
guy can get a crit.
So
yeah.
it's 7 minus the 1, so you take 6 points of damage there, Hacken. And then the second wave of attacks, one of them manages to sneak through for 6 points of damage. Oh,
That's
out of
exactly
vitality.
0.
Okay. You're not fatigued. You haven't taken... Oh, no, if you're out of vitality, you are fatigued. So you can set the fatigue 1 next to the non-weapon. This guy slams into the side. He can smell it on you, Artak. He can smell your blood.
Yeah.
he's just going to be able to get just to the roof to kind of
Okay.
coming over. Next round, I'm going to do another threaten on you, trying to inflict some more stress damage.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
2 more to try and break through the walls there. Both of them have broken through. And then Zorazia, you got a 16 right now. That's a miss, and that is a nat 20. So Zorazia, that is 4 points of damage. She cries out in pain. Okay.
It's not going well.
And that is it for them. Then it is... Now, Zorazia, this one seems to be really intent on causing problems for you. Why don't we spend a couple of points and let's upgrade this one to a standard character. Zorazia, your turn. What are you doing?
I guess I will. Let me just see the combat actions. So, drawing a weapon is a half action.
Okay. I assume you have your pistol out as well. If that's what you're thinking. Yeah.
Then I would
Awesome.
aim. And have I disappeared?
You have disappeared.
Let me try.
Bold strategy, though. I appreciate the...
Well, it's one way of getting out of trouble. In Paradar, I just don't turn up for fights. So
Exactly. I'm sorry, guys. I've got another pressing appointment with my... James, you just
kind
gonna...
of damage deal.
Oh, did you close the browser?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't know why I did that, but there you go. So let me. I will draw my. So I've got my pistol. I'll aim and I'll shoot him.
Go ahead.
So that's a +1, right?
For aiming?
From aiming. So where am I? Yeah, everything's closed because of that.
Come on.
Range 20, so I
Just roll
don't have a place to add one, so let's add it in our heads. There we go.
Do you want to spend an action point to make that a crit?
Oh yes.
Then go ahead and roll damage. This will go directly to its wounds.
Sweet.
Let's
come on.
first I'll just get rid of my scrolling up and down the place I am. Straight to wounds.
Now, do you want to spend that last action point to add to damage? That's very close to taking it down, but not quite enough. And this is directly to its wounds instead of...
The reds,
Yeah, the vitality.
Okay. Ah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, so look at this. It does mean that it's fatigue, though. So the rules cut both ways for them. All right, so you blast this thing thinking this is going to be it, and it kind of looks up at you with his head half blown away, still in the fight. Did you have to aim as a half action?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fareda, you can see out the side window that's been busted in that Zorazia just blasted this larger looking one, and it's still coming at her.
Oh, God. When there's someone in my face, I'll deal with that one first. I would like to do the increasing my defense for a number of rounds by spending an action point.
Okay. So for 1 round.
Well,
okay.
at least for a round.
Yeah. All right. And then I will once again call upon the code of my homeland to deal with the one in front of me.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, so
DC 13 reflex save.
yeah, so I succeeded in the saves. Go ahead and roll damage. I'll just check my damage saves. Oh, but I turfed both damage saves, so never mind.
Nice.
Two more down. Then you still have a half action for Rada.
For anticipate, is that against one specific enemy or against all of the enemies of the same type?
Let's see here. Good question.
The sense motive versus to gain a bonus to defense.
Oh, a specific enemy.
Yeah, okay. I see. I think for now, Ferreira will just make her way outside to be of more use to her companions.
Artak, you have a undead dwarf in your grill. How you doing?
Yes. I immediately changed my stance to be more defensive for 3 rounds.
Okay.
So
Nice.
minus my subtracted die first before I forget. Okay, there we go. And then kind of as I'm doing that, I bring my bow up and around and try to get it in the face. Let's see what happens here. 21.
That is
Almost
a
a crit.
hit. Almost a crit.
3 damage.
3 damage.
I have 4 armor piercing with if it matters for the bug.
That's good to know. This one, it does not matter for that. That's
Cool.
huge. 4 AP. Oh, and it's if they're not undead, if you're using the standard arrows, that has the greater AP but doesn't cause bleed. It's the barbed arrows that cause bleed. Okay. All right.
Awesome. So and then I'll take a second attack right at it. Yikes! That is not going to do anything. So
no, that's pretty far off from a success.
Trying. Yeah, exactly. So
all right.
I think because I'm being so defensive now that I can't be as precise with my aiming.
Yeah. So Zarazia, just as a reminder, it's a full round action. If you can get away from this fucking thing, you can spend a full round action to refresh, and then you roll an action point, and then you regain that amount is split equally between vitality and wounds. This is contingent on getting an action point, but don't worry, I can sort you out on that. Hacken, what are you doing?
I think he's going to also do that thing that these guys have been doing to get extra rounds.
Defense?
I spend 1 action point, right? And then roll.
Just spend 1 action point? Yeah, roll, and it's +2 to your defense for that for 3 rounds. Nice.
For 3 rounds.
Okay.
And then I can still get my actions.
Absolutely, both. Yep, either a full round or 2 half actions.
I'm gonna try to take these guys out in front of me at least.
Go right ahead.
Right. The first one is rolling, it's thinking.
You want to action point it?
Yeah.
You're only off by 3.
Yeah. It's a 50-50 chance. I will action point
Okay.
that too.
Awesome.
24 exclamation mark.
Okay.
Come on. Yes!
Yep.
It's loading tight. Don't bother rolling damage. I failed my damage save. Second attack.
Second attack. Man, I missed.
Oh, that's way off. Okay.
Yeah, way off. Yeah.
All right, then we have their turn. The horses are being slaughtered further. The one facing you, Hacken, misses and misses. The one facing you, Zarazia, it is going to try and bite you first. That is a miss, and it's going to try and bite you second. That is likewise a miss. Then I have Artak. Okay.
Yes.
Bite first. That's a miss. And second one, that one. If you have an action point available, you can trigger an error for me.
What do errors do? What's an example?
Critical fumble. I'd probably have this idiot fall off the roof.
That sounds good to me. Here it goes. Taking off an action point.
So go ahead. Give us a 3d6 roll, please.
Alrighty. D6. 11.
11. So, Ferreira, you're on the ground, and then you hear this furious howl as this thing swings at you first, and then swings a second time, Artak, and then like a shingle gives way, and it just and it goes sailing off, and then slams into the ground, kind of right next to where Ferreira is. That is it for the bad guys. Zarazia, what are you doing?
I'd better try and take this thing down. So Shall I try a feint?
Whoa.
Apparently this is a thing.
Feint would be make it flat-footed. Do you have anything that gives you a bonus to damage when it's flat-footed?
No. What do I have about flat-footed? There's something. Now then, dexterous. So I'm being a plonker here.
Not at all.
Well, where's it? There's something where I had an advantage with it. Well, I can.
Oh, you could try the trip mix up. Once per round, when you've not taken a trip action in the last 3 rounds, you may take it and gain +3 bonus to the skill check that requires a trip. This is your fancy footwork with as a musketeer.
Yep. All right, let's try that.
Because if you're flat-footed is effectively just trying to give a bonus to this. This would also knock it prone, right? It would be sprawled. And trip is a contested acrobatics versus acrobatics. And remember how your acrobatics works.
Yep.
So go ahead, give us your roll.
Let's give that an acrobatics roll.
I did not roll 21, so long as you don't roll a 1. Yeah. What does it look like as you set this thing sprawling as a half action?
Yep, a little limping slightly, but duck down, swing, take its legs from under it, sweep it with my legs.
Yep. So it is sprawled, which I think gives you bonus. You still have 1 half action as well.
Then I will try. So is it now more vulnerable to me hitting it?
Sprawled is flat-footed and -2 with all attack checks. And flat-footed loses its dex bonus to its defense, so it is easier to hit.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether to run away and recover or no, let's just try and finish it off. And look at that.
Oh my god.
Should have run away.
You could do a 5-foot step, I guess. So there's that. Ferreira, what are you doing?
Well, this thing just landed next to me. So
it is also sprawled, which we just now know.
So I think she'll just sort of try and focus the cold and ice down onto it. That's going to be a DC-13 reflex save.
And it's sprawled. I don't think it's going to... Yeah, it's not going to be able to go ahead and roll damage on it. 2 points of cold. Okay, so that's a half action.
I can only cast 1 spell per round, right?
Only 1 spell per round, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to whack it with your staff, you could do that, I guess.
Move back, fall back.
No, I'm not that. Hitting it with my staff is not really my forte. I think I'll sort of move away from it.
Okay. And you see Zorazia seems to have a tumbled Ravener herself.
Nice.
Artak.
From my vantage point, can I see that tumbled Ravener in front of Zorazia?
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I will swing, now that the thing is off and kind of recovering a bit, I will swing back around and use an arrow at that one. Sorry.
That is a hit?
Wait, actually, it clicked twice. So it was the first one was a 6.
Oh, so hold on.
So
first one's a miss, then?
Yeah.
You could action point. Could explode.
I only have 1 left, so I think I'll just go with, I was going to attack it twice anyway if I missed it, so that's fine. I'll use the second thing. Is that a 13 hit?
Okay. 13 does hit. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, great. So then I'll roll damage on that. Alrighty. There we go. Oops, that's the dagger. There we go. 1 point.
Shit.
I think I'm still off balance.
You're following my advice.
Yeah, exactly. So like this, you don't want to really hurt it, right?
Yep. Yeah. Hacking.
Hacken's going to try to finish this one in front of him.
Go ahead. Come on, big money.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
You could spend an action point and auto crit.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, that's 1 down. And you're close enough. You could 5-foot step and do your second attack on that sprawled one.
I'll try to do that too.
Go ahead. Second attack. Yeah, that hits because he's sprawled.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage.
All right.
Come on.
Big damage.
Holy shit! Look at this. All right, so that completely zilches out that, and
Sweet.
look at that. All right, yeah. I mean, you could spend that last action point and add to damage if you want.
No, I'll save it because I have that recut. If I get dropped, I can still recover. So.
Okay, so then on horses continue to get slaughtered. This one facing you, Hacken, needs to reposition to pull himself to his feet, and then he's going to try and get you. He does not get you.
Nice.
Zerasia, this one is going to have to reposition to get to his feet, and then he is going to try and get you. He does not get you. Zerasia, what are you doing?
I'm going to try and just stab him. Stabby.
Here it comes. Come on, crit.
Keeping you in tension there.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
That is a crit.
Nice.
I feel like you need an action point to do that, though. So why don't you take an action point?
Woohoo! I've got an action point now. I don't have
Everyone
an
gets an action point.
Nice.
10 points of damage. Nicely done.
Oh, man.
What does it look like as you slay this one? Because it went right to the wounds.
Yep. Oh, I think I've got to have some dexterity. I'll just go slash across the throat. So a little panache.
Nice. That was only a half action. You still have a half action left.
I guess I will trot on down here to join the gang.
Okay. Fareda?
Nice.
So this other big one here, so she will try and use Polar Arena.
Okay. I made my save, so it's my half damage. But we're into wound territory now, so all this shit counts. All right. It looks over at you, frost forming all the way up its back. One more half action.
No, I think she'll just do as much she can do.
Okay.
So yeah, she'll just stay where she is, keeping an eye and ear out for the two in the stables once they're done with the horses, just in case they come rushing
Once
out.
they're full. Hopefully they'll go for a nap. I do after a big meal, so. Artak.
I'll take a half action to move here and kind of like look down at the thing.
Go ahead.
And
Double tap in the head, yeah.
yeah, that's my. Hopefully, let's see what happens here. Longbow, there it is. Attack.
Come on.
21.
Nice.
Not a
Huge
crit,
hit.
but,
Go ahead and roll damage.
4 damage.
4 damage. You want to spend that action point?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead and roll 1d4 exclamation mark.
All right, let me subtract that action point so don't forget. And then, and then going backwards until I get to him for $1. I should have just typed. There we go.
Very nice.
Let's tell us what it looks like as you take this one down.
So I get up there and it's that, high angle shot looking right down on his head because it can't see me, has no idea. And it's about to chomp down a Hakon and and it goes right into the top of his head and it just sort of staggers and slowly wobbles and then falls over.
Okay.
Nice.
So what I'll say then is, because Hacken's up next, these things maybe come racing out, and Hacken, you'll just be able to take both of them down in one swoop.
Amazing.
And then, as a reminder, because of your hearty meal from before too, as Hacken comes out of his, his berserker fury and is normally weakened by it, he is not, and just wants to know where there's more stew.
So hungry. Not like a ghoul.
All right. So this is where we would award XP potentially. We would also roll for treasure because there were so many extra things of these. We'd be rolling for a lot of extra treasure in here.
That's awesome.
But unfortunately, we're out of time, guys. That's brought us to the end of the session.
So fast.
It went by very, very quickly. I will say, so this we obviously tweaked it for a different setting, but for those who do want to give Fantasycraft a try. It's an adventure out of this compendium called a Time for High Adventure, or Time of High Adventure. It's also published separately as a PDF called The Darkest Hour. This is only the first scene of a 3-scene adventure. So, guys, how was your first time playing
I like it.
Fantasycraft?
It runs really smooth, dynamic.
Really good.
Yeah, it's very good.
I was surprised at how, you know, I hate to use the word cinematic, but you know what I mean by that. But even with that, how quickly the combat moved, like through the round.
Oh yeah.
Even though we had lots of options, you know, like there were lots of different things we could do, that we were still even learning the system. So imagine if we did know the system like the back of our hands, it'd be like boom, 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 and really interesting and fun and different each round. It felt like to me.
Absolutely.
So,
I take it back completely. My reservations about spellcasters. You are fucking badass in this fight.
Yeah, they're still
Holy smokes.
still really good.
Yeah. How did it feel playing the spellcaster, David?
That was really nice. Yeah, it felt dynamic. It felt like I had lots of options, and I do like systems where you make a spell casting roll.
Yeah.
Instead of having like slots necessarily, so I quite like that.
It's a really cool thing too, because it doesn't mean you can't cast. It just means it's really hard until you successfully cast. So which adds some tension, because it's just like you can only do one per round. So if you keep getting like fizzles, it does put a priority on the action points too, where you could spend that resource to try and get that success. But yeah, awesome. Well, I know both George and James have copies of this since last John and I played it. Was this a good purchase, guys?
Yeah.
Good.
Very cool.
Awesome. All right. Well, then, that unfortunately brings us to the end of the session. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for our return to the Dwarflands and another session of Fantasycraft. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the game, or the quasi-campaign we've been playing, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. There's also a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where we have a channel dedicated to assorted games, where we have been talking about some of these crafty games, as well as most of the other campaigns we run on the channel, most games we run on the channel, as well as like Find a Group, GM discussion, virtual tabletop chat, convention chat. There's a very helpful, knowledgeable, and friendly community over there, and you are more than welcome to join us. There's also a link down below to our friends at Noble Knight Games. Noble Knight Games is the preeminent unionized retailer of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs in North America. Not only do they have an amazing selection of new role-playing games, board games, and card games, they have an unmatched selection of hard-to-find and out-of-print RPGs. Like, I don't know, James, George, what other hard-to-find and out-of-print RPG might you want to find at...
I only thing I can think of is like that.
Okay, the second printing.
Yeah, that is get a second copy.
Or the Dark Eye, either one.
Or the Dark Eye, exactly.
There you go.
Or Death Watch.
Or Death Watch, exactly. Terrific. Many hard to find out-of-print games. If they don't have something in stock that you're looking for in their extensive catalog, you can put it on a want list, and then they'll send you an email when it comes in. And if you make a purchase of $10 or more through their website, be sure to enter the code MuserNight, all caps, all one word. It's in the description of the video. It'll save you 10% on any purchase of $10 or more. And that'll change as of July 15, 2025. So if you're listening to this after that time, just come back to one of our more recent videos and you'll see what the current discount code is there. We're also 2 weeks off from our first charity marathon. It'll be 16 hours playing Dragonbane, a 4-part adventure. We have between 4 and 6 players playing throughout this session. It is going to be an adventure. I'll be making fatigue checks throughout the entire duration, I imagine. May 31st, starting at 8 a.m. CST, going to midnight CST. The adventure is called A Doom of Drakengard, and we are keeping track of live donations to the SOS Children's Villages International charity that is benefiting from the marathon. Donors will be able to pick rewards that will affect gameplay, ways to change up the game to make things easier, more challenging, or just more interesting for the players. So I'll have more information about that on the Dungeon Musings Discord server shortly. But if that does sound like some fun for you, mark May 31st on your calendar. that's when we are going to experience the doom of Drakengard and perhaps the physical collapse of our stalwart dungeon muser. So, last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our stalwart players. So, Carl, David, James, and George, thank you so much for playing today, guys. This was a shit ton of fun. It is easily, like, these are first level characters. It's so much fun running this game for just even for first level characters. That was a really exciting fight. Then for those listening at home, we'll be back in the Trojan Reach though in 2 weeks time. Will we? No, we won't. 2 weeks is after the marathon. There's no game after that one because I need to recover. But we will be back in a month's time, in 4 weeks, to the Cronus Expanse, to the Trojan Reach. But until then, we hope that we gave you a few hours to take your mind off the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes in the Dwarflands are encountering as they're simply trying to get a job and earn some dosh. And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.